This is the creepiest horror scary animated story ever, and it begins quietly, with an ordinary 19-year-old girl named Anna, who worked a night shift at a small convenience store. She never minded the silence of late hours, never thought much of the way the fluorescent lights buzzed, or how the empty parking lot looked under the orange glow of street lamps. But silence at night has a way of bending, of turning heavy, and of hiding things that no one should ever see. It started with something small. The soft ding of the front door bell at 2:47 a.m. Anna looked up, expecting a customer, but no one was there. The door was shut, the lot empty, yet the chime had rung. She laughed nervously, brushed it off as a glitch. A few minutes later, it rang again, but still no one was there. She muttered, "Great, haunted doors," forcing herself to smirk. But when she pressed her hand against the glass, she noticed her reflection seemed off. It didn't move in perfect unison. Her tilt was echoed a fraction of a second late, and when she tried to shake it off and turn away, she heard something new. Breathing, faint, close, directly behind her. She spun around empty aisles, nothing but humming refrigerators. She whispered, "Hello," and instantly regretted it when the intercom above her head crackled and repeated her voice back to her in a stretched, broken mimic. "Hello." Her heart thundered, her hand shook as she reached for her phone. But before she could dial, the entire store went black. Power gone, lights off, machines dead. She gasped in the dark, her flashlight beam trembling as it cut through the aisles. And there, at the glass doors, her reflection still stood. But she wasn't standing there, her body was yards away. The reflection existed on its own, smiling faintly, and then it pressed a hand against the glass from the inside. She stumbled, fell into a display, the sound of footsteps suddenly pounding toward her down the aisle, though no one appeared in the light. Swinging her phone, she caught sight of her own face at the far end, staring and smiling, before her phone flickered and died completely. Blackness swallowed her, footsteps stopped, and then her name was whispered right into her ear. "Hannah." She bolted into the storage room, locking herself inside, breathing ragged, clutching her chest as she begged herself to wake up. Through the small square window of the door, she saw movement herself, walking calmly down the aisle, smiling wider and wider, until it reached the door and scratched its nails across the glass with such force that cracks spider-webbed outward. Sis create, covering her ears. But when she dared to look again, the window was whole, untouched, mocking her with its solidity. She was losing time, losing control, until at last the lights flickered back, the hum of machines returned, and everything seemed normal. She opened the door cautiously, stepping back into the store that looked untouched, and tried to convince herself it had been nothing but exhaustion and stress. She gathered her bag, ready to leave, until she saw it on the glass door. Pressed from the inside was a single handprint, and then, before her eyes, another formed, then another, until dozens appeared all at once, covering the glass like desperate hands trying to push through. She dropped her bag, screaming as the lights cut out again and the world fell silent. When the manager arrived the next morning, the store was calm, shelves neatly stacked, doors unbroken, lights glowing. But Anna was gone. Her phone lay cracked on the floor behind the counter. Her bag sat abandoned by the door, and the only sign of anything wrong was a single, perfect handprint left on the glass from the inside. That is how the creepiest horror, scary, animated story ever ends, or maybe it doesn't, because if you've ever heard a bell chime with no one there, if you've ever seen your reflection hesitate for just a second too long, or if you've felt that someone was breathing directly behind you when the room was empty, then maybe Anna's story hasn't ended at all. Maybe it just moved to you. Remember her the next time you stare too long at glass doors, or when the silence around you feels heavier than it should, because some stories never stay in one place. Some stories crawl into new homes, new lives, new listeners, and tonight, you listened. So if you dare click here for the next night for another horror tale, even darker than this one, waiting for you, ready to follow you long after the video ends. But be warned, once you press play, there is no turning back.